You're watching Wake Up Nigeria. Now let's talk parenting. And to do justice to that this morning is Samuel Olaoluwa Fadare. He is a dynamic, astute, and all-round educational professional, a nominee for the prestigious Diamond Teacher of the Year 2024. And today, we'll be talking about uncovering the roots of mathematics phobia on parenting. Okay, so it's so good to have you in the studio with us.
Thank you.
So when we talk mathematics, of course, the first person that comes to mind for me is Samuel Fadare. And so phobia for mathematics is something that can be quite complicated, both for parents and children, because some of the parents also already have their own trauma from their childhood dealing with mathematics. Exactly. So how do we uncover this phobia? Because it does exist after all.
Absolutely, absolutely. Mathematics phobia actually exists, which can also be called mathematics anxiety. Actually, for us to be able to provide a concrete solution to it, we need to uncover the mathematics phobia. We need to look at those factors that are responsible for mathematics phobia. Number one is early negative experience. For instance, parents and children, sometimes when you expose them to mathematics at the early stage, sometimes most of them are like, oh, they are not able to grasp the full concepts of mathematics like algebra, even simple multiplication table. So if they have one or two difficulty in it, that can translate to affecting them later in life. Because they will feel that, oh, I don't know this thing at the early stage. How will I be able to know it at the later stage of my life? So, early negative experience. Another one is societal and parental influence. Sometimes the society that makes sure that mathematics is a measure of intelligence. For instance, in most society, in most climes, they'll feel that, oh, if a child does not know mathematics, the child is not intelligent. And mathematics is just an aspect of intelligence. There are so many other aspects of intelligence. So the society and also the parents play a major influence. Even early negative experience too also play a major interest in getting mathematics phobia.
So now, let's start from the early negative experience. Right. How young is too young to expose your child to mathematics?
There's never a very young age to expose your child to mathematics. You can start exposing your child to mathematics as early as 6 months, 7 months, even 1 year.
How do you do that?
How do you do that? It's very simple. Like, for instance, we have 1, 2 years old that can count. You can teach them, for instance, how to write number 1. Even if it's that, stroking down. So by the time they get to do that over and over again, they are getting used to the cognitive aspect of knowing mathematics. So as time goes on, such time will be able to, know mathematics at that early stage, and it will help them later in life. But not exposing them early to mathematics can have an adverse effect on them in the future. So it's very, very good for parents, teachers, and educationists to expose children to mathematics at an early stage.
So I'm still more focused on the negative aspects.
Okay.
The influences, the negative influences that affects the child. Okay. Now, fine, the child has been exposed. Okay. What are those things that parents should avoid, maybe saying or doing, that might unknowingly trigger a trauma or some kind of fear in their children regarding mathematics? Because I can't pinpoint it myself, but I didn't have, I'm speaking for myself, I didn't have mathematics phobia growing up. But in school, people were always scared of mathematics. So I'll pass mathematics, but I was scared of mathematics, which didn't make sense to me. I never got below a C throughout my life in maths, but I always had a fear of mathematics because everyone around me had a fear of it. So I always thought, maths is impossible. So I look at it and I try to understand, what are those things that parents and educators should avoid? My younger sister is a mass communicator, but she was an A student in further maths.
Wow.
Further maths, which I was even more scared of. So I'm wondering, what is this thing that one needs to avoid so that your child sails through it, or your student sails through it without having that fear of mathematics?
Exactly. For instance, parents need to avoid, they should give their children the belief, the self-belief. Most parents sometimes are negative about mathematics. Like, okay, if a child comes home with a low score in mathematics, they can have the belief or the notion that, oh, this child is not born to know mathematics.
Just
you can't know mathematics. Sometimes there are people like that are very negative. Like, oh, you don't know this thing. doing? Why is it that you are coming home with this score? So you must give your child the self-belief that they can actually do it. Even in, regardless of what they are going through presently or regardless of their score, you should be able to give them the confidence, the self-belief that, oh no, your score might be low, but you can still do better next time. So parents should also make sure they have time for their children. For instance, even if you don't know mathematics, you can encourage your children to know mathematics, you know, by giving them words of assurance, positive, affirmative word of assurance that, oh, this thing is not difficult. You can do it. If this person can know mathematics, you also can know mathematics as well. Then speaking to their teachers too, there must be communication line between parents and teacher. Oh, what are the areas you want me to concentrate on? As a parent, you can also get a tutor to train your child if you don't have the time. But beyond that, there must be constant communication with the child, with the parents, even with the teachers at school, to know the level at which your child is and to know what you can do as a parent to also help them.
Now, some teachers are interested in their child, in the students' mathematics understanding.
Exactly.
But that is rare, let's be honest. Most mathematics teachers are brash. They go, how can you not know this simple thing? This, or they might be overwhelmed because of teaching so many classes. So they're like, why is this one not? I'm simplifying this thing to the barest minimum. Now, for an average teacher like that who is watching you, what counsel would you give them?
I would like to counsel teachers like on mathematics. We need to, like I said earlier on, we need to bring to terms the fact that mathematics is not abstract. Mathematics is concrete. It's things that they can see. So as a teacher, we must show the excitement, the commitment towards teaching mathematics. Because one thing is, pupils will first see, learners, they will see your disposition towards mathematics.
Your disposition.
Yes, as a teacher, they will see your disposition and your attitude towards mathematics before they can get interest in mathematics. So as teachers, we must convey. For instance, when we were in school then, our math teachers were so, you know, math teachers are like, but the narrative is now changing now. Because math teacher used to be people that come to the class, frown their face, teach concept they don't understand.
Exactly, as in they don't understand. You get it?
But now the narrative is now fast changing. The narrative is changing such that mathematics teachers are now appealing to their students and learners. So as math teachers, as math educators, we must be appealing to our learners. For them to be able to understand this concept, we must be able to bring to terms that, oh, let's make this thing practical. Let's relate it to real life situation, real life objects.
Absolutely.
That mathematics is not abstract again. It's now practical, things that they can see. So if we are appealing to pupils and learners and even parents, then these children will develop the ability to know mathematics.
And it's never too late to learn how to solve mathematics. Thank you so much for your time. It's been quite an interesting conversation with you, Samuel Fadare. Thank you indeed.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right.